So you start with the White Sox in town. You drop 2 out of 3. You have Pete Rose night at the ballpark.
Which was fun.
Which was fun. It was like a second opening day. Mm-hmm. Those lines were nuts.
Yeah.
It was a zoo.
And they did a great job with it. All the pregame stuff was fantastic. Conveniently reinstated right before the ball game.
Yeah, okay, we got to get into it. I understand the legality of when you say lifetime ban, and now that they are dead, it's lifted.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the possibility of getting on the ballot and getting into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like what Reggie Jackson said is that Pete will be up for a vote with the Veterans Committee in December of 2027.
Yes.
Or is it December 2026?
No, it's 27 because it would be the 28 class is his first opportunity to get in. So that vote would be the 20 in 27.
Okay.
So it's coming up. I don't know. Because it's the committee is made up of your peers.
Yes, and not the writers, which is a good thing for Pete.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a 50-50 ball.
Yeah. I have no idea who's on that committee is the problem.
Right. And from a lot of the quotes from different people were varied of, one being, Pete was exemplary on the field.
If you ever had Pete as a teammate, you have very nice things to say about him.
Yes.
But if you played against him, there doesn't seem to be a very positive opinion.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So that's where it varies, and understanding how big Pete Rose was at the peak of his powers.
Yeah.
Only had 2 presidents call him during post-game interviews during, like the World Series or whatever.
Yeah.
Being like the largest guy on the planet at that moment. So you understand the fame that kind of goes into Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But the gambling, not great.
No. A lot of other decisions, not great.
Not great, which we don't want to get into all of them. But
it's, yeah. I can see the argument for both sides. The Hall of Fame should be, you ideally you only want good people in the Hall of Fame, but that's just not the case.
No, it's not.
And where do you set the benchmark? It's always moving. Mm-hmm. So I think that the Hit King probably should at least have more of a presence there, even if he doesn't get a plaque.
Yeah.
The ball was already there. Like he's got a little locker essentially, but just being able to get what he did for the sport in there a little bit more. If you don't want to give him a plaque, that's fine, but there should start to be add him into the videos that they have going through all the exhibits and stuff. Get another Hit King sort of.
Give him another little locker.
Yeah.
Give him a glass box.
Yeah. I'm just worried that if it comes down to his peers, I just don't know.
I don't either.
If he was well-liked enough.
I know, that's my other thing. And then do they want to be, do his peers want to be known as
exactly.
The group that let him in.
Mm-hmm.
Pete was always saying, I'm not going to get in until I'm dead. And Chris Rose said this, and I've said this on here before. Pete Rose's biggest problem was Pete Rose.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't give him his day when he was 4 years down the street during Hall of Fame inductions, signing stuff, saying, I'm sorry I bet on baseball, and profiting off of what he did and his mistakes.
Yeah. Why
would you reward him with a day at Cooperstown and letting him be up there and letting it fly?
Yeah.
That's a big risk you're taking. Because as he got older, he let more stuff fly.
Yeah.
And
I feel like he would have behaved himself, but he was a wild card, so
a big wild card. He cut the brakes. Yeah. Wild card, bitches! Woo! That was Pete. And so that's also why we loved him, but at the same time, and so revered in this city. Because he was that, played, I'd walk through hell with a gasoline suit on to play baseball. Just that wild dude.
Yeah.
But when it's an event where you're enshrined forever, you don't know what he's going to say.
Yeah. He also inspired the next generation. So many kids grew up, looking at Charlie Hustle, wanting to play baseball the way that Charlie Hustle played baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I just think he made enough positive contributions on the field that it should be recognized.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's tough when it comes to the actual plaque. I mean,
It's
just
tough.
don't know.
I don't either, and I am so glad we don't have to make that decision.
Yeah.
A couple other people on the list. I mean, the other big one, Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Yeah, I think he has got a much better chance
He does. I
of
guess.
getting enshrined.
I guess there's some news that came out that he did get paid to throw a game, but he didn't.
I thought he was...
But he's illiterate. Or was
Yeah.
illiterate. And
No, he
didn't know.
still is illiterate.
Yes, when you die, you're still illiterate. Yeah. Once you go to the grave, you're never figuring out how to read.
No, it's tough after that.
It's tough. It's like
A lot
night.
of tutors.
Yeah. It's hard to learn how to read when your eyes and brain don't work. But I think he gets in.
I do too, and I think he gets in before Pete does.
I do too. I mean, you can't tell the story of baseball without this tale of the 1919 White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. That was when baseball was tested most. Bullied by the mob into throwing the World Series for the Reds. Appreciate it. And
We would have won anyway.
yes. You can't, where it's like, that's when baseball really tightened up the gambling stuff and pushed the mob out, not let it be controlled. So that's an extremely important part of baseball's history.
Yeah.
And having Shoeless, can't read Joe Jackson in the Hall of Fame and showing that importance is a part of the story of baseball, why it belongs to that museum. So I'm glad. There's also somebody else who stabbed a teammate who was on that list. I was listening to Rates and Barrels and they talked about it. But
Interesting.
yeah, he got a lifetime ban because he stabbed a teammate.
And he's dead now?
Oh yeah,
All right, lifetime ban over.
yeah, lifetime ban over. I think both of the stab and the stabbee are both gone. So back when it was accepted you could stab a teammate.
Was this sounds like a turn of the century sort of situation?
Yeah,
or at
that's-
least you'd like to think it was.
Yeah, it was actually 2007. Yeah, it was Scott Rowland. He's
Tried to stab Ugatherbina. He deserves it.
He deserves it. Turn it. So yeah, Pete Rose night was great.